All right. This is on headliners. The proper color for the Ford Econoline, gray. This is only for gray. This is not for tan or any other color. Gray is the most common. There are no videos that I can see out there other than a few people covering their headliners, but nobody says what color fabric to get, what kind of fabric to get, where to get it from, or what color most of all. And since this is pretty much one of the first automotive things that I've done was back in the 90s, was recover headliners. Even though I didn't make a career out of it, it was one of the very first things in automotive that I got into. Um, Besides the mechanical aspect of it, but the interior, the interior portion of it has, it was something I was never really afraid of. So we're going to see if we can shine some light on what color grays there are out there, and if there are any options for you to go wrong. Because look, I ordered these swatches, and many of you may know you have to pay to order these swatches from people. They don't just give them to you. You might get lucky and get a book on them. And then there are some companies that only have their particular color in stock, not a broad array of colors that is across the internet. But this happens to be three colors that are kind of across the internet. And they're numbered. They have these numbers right here, like 2021. That's not a year. That's actually the name of a color or a code for their little internet color, or particular company. See that right there, that SKU would be what you would go look up to order, and then you would look up the 2021 gray. So anytime I refer to these three swatches I have for gray here, that's what I'm talking about. This is how you would have to order this. So we're standing in front of a 2007 Ford Econoline. It's got several years of wear and tear. It's got sun fade. It's got the grease from people's hair and head hitting the top. This was a church van, so it's got all of that stuff. It's got hair product on the ceiling. It's got everything, right? It's seen everything. So this is a church van, or was, and you can see up here where the headline is kind of tore up. We need to get to it and see if we can recover it, right? And I can't get that out because if I try to wipe this out, you'll all probably know what's going to happen if you have had headliner problems or currently do watching this video for that reason. You know that this fabric becomes separated from the foam. And it's got a fabric that's built, manufactured to the foam, and then the foam is glued to the board. And the board is kind of like a little fiberglass slash fiber board material, which is a kind of a little hard board. Yeah, so how do you do that? You got to take this down and recover it. And that's what we're here to talk about, what color to get for that. Um, Obviously, the back probably should be recovered too. But the front is the problem, child, especially where all of them come apart, which is right here by the windshield. The way that the headliners are done, they are ran right to the edge, and they are not tucked around the backside. From the factory, they're cut like this, I guess on a machine all the way down. And then they're in probably a cookie cutter mold, and they're cut like that, and they don't wrap around because they're not hand done, I think they're just machine done, and that's the reason why they come loose in a couple of years from sun fade. And leaving the windows down on a vehicle does this all the time. It drops the headliner right here, or if you have moisture in the vehicle, it drops it. But anyway, that's all the reasons why you would want to replace this. But the color is the big issue here, because nobody on the internet seems to be putting out, hey, what is the common gray color for these Econolines? What is the common gray color for Ford anywhere in the 90s all the way up for the different shades of gray that Ford has, right? So Ford has, and a lot of vehicles have different shades of gray like this. But Ford is like 3-tone gray, 4-tone sometimes. You can see the dashboard is darker, much darker gray than the pillar post here cover. Then your headliner is even lighter than that, or it tries to mimic the pillar post color. Some Econolines have a dark post color. you know, it just gets crazy. The steering wheels are really dark gray, and then of course the dashboard is black, and it just goes on, and then you grayer here, darker. But typically, any gray you put on a ceiling would probably look good, but will it match your back headliner is the problem. And how do you account for sun fade and all that? Well, we're going to try to do that right now. All right, so I'll stop talking and start showing you these swatches. Now, these each cost $4 a piece, something like that, and I had to get them mailed to me. And of course, the company, I think, mailed them quick because they want me to order, of course. It looks like with this headliner, we're gonna have to get a little bit over what they sell. And they, all right. So some people are saying that light graphite works for them, kind of, and some people are saying this is the most commonly sold, which is LT gray, light gray. 1955 is the internet or whatever is the company's. I guess this company right here, Sunbright. 1955 is what they're saying this is. And then this one I threw in there. I said, let me get another gray. There are a few grays missing here, but I got what I thought was the most common grays for a headliner. The internet and computer and cell phones and video make a horrible color match deciding factor, meaning I can't tell crap from a cell phone or a video or anything in a digital world or in a video world compared to in real life and in real sunlight, natural sunlight, and in different shades of light. That it does no justice to be able to sit here and try to guesstimate. So I had to order these swatches, and as you can see, they look different against a dark seat cover. I recovered the seat, by the way, a while back. Let's see. That's super light for this gray. This is a dark gray. This is not your headliner. All right, so where's the best place for you to determine color? Look at all those fingerprints all over that, look. And that's whatever. I don't know who touches the headliner that much, but maybe it's all that singing and clapping that goes on and coming to, riding with a bunch of people that cause that. But, okay. Look, a headliner. The inside is probably the best place to get the natural color of the headliner, right? A place where you still got a ring of color that once was the original. And the back side of the headliner. I'm sorry, the visor. But watch fingerprints this close. So let's look. What do we got here? Let's try the most commonly sold light gray color, right? Which is what they sell, I guess, universally. All right, you can see there is more purple effect. In real life, that is not as drastic as the camera shows on the phone. That is not as drastic to the naked eye. Let me try a second pair of eyes here. All right, this is the original. This is the one that we said that's most common. What do you got? What do you say? It's pretty much the same.
Right, but on the camera it's different.
Right, so it's not the same color, but it's not as drastic as the camera showed. Would you agree with that?
Right, yes.
All right. So if you wanted to use that, you technically could. It wouldn't really throw you off if you did both sections of headliner with that. But I wouldn't do just one because it'd be, okay, the seam right here, it would look like, for the LT gray, meaning I guess the light gray abbreviation, the light gray would throw you off, be off pretty bad. I'm just not choosing light gray, not for this particular '07 vehicle. It's just not what I want. It's not a close enough match to what's up here originally to me. So that's my executive decision on this matter. You may have a different opinion about it, but you have to order all these swatches and do all this. If you trust my opinion, none of these are an exact match. Okay, let's try this graphite, right? On camera, it looks like that would be a little better, maybe, than LT gray. Maybe. But in person, it's almost the same as LT gray. If anything, it's a little worse, a little darker. Sorry. Hold on a second. I'm going to put on a pair of glasses that magnify my vision a little closer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a match. But like I said, if you wanted to do the entire headliner in it, it may be okay.
From the side right there, you can tell that it's not a match, even on the camera.
Well, the camera doesn't do any justice. You look at it here, it's closer to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the headliner and you wonder if that's years of grime, road buildup, and everything that's caused this headliner to be a little darker. But if you're trying to get this to match two-part headliner and you don't want to do the second half, it's not going to match. All right? I'm trying to keep this back headliner and buy some time maybe to do it later, even though I should do them at the same time. I don't want to do this right now. But that's not, let's see. This is a swatch of the 2021 gray. Wait, yeah, 2021 gray. And that is real close. And if I had to see if they would match in the end, I mean, where the seam butts, I think I'd be fine. Be almost unnoticeable for this color. You wipe your fingerprints on it a few times or rub your head across it like whoever did whatever they did to this headliner. I guarantee you won't tell the difference. But this is, for wear and tear that's up here, I'd say this 2021 gray is probably the color for me. But that's just a 2007. Now I have a 1999 we can go take a look at next. All right, now we're looking at a 1999, which has got a much older interior. A much smokier interior, I'm sure. There's years of smoking in this thing. And the headliner took the brunt of it, I guess. But even though it's still not as nasty as rubbing your head on it and putting greasy fingers or whatever the heck was on it, it's still cleaner. I'm sorry, it's still one color. Let's just say that. It's not cleaner, it's just one color. Yeah, it's still coming off in the front there. Just like it, yep. Just like they all do right there. So when I do my other headliner, I'm going to wrap that around. I might make a video and show you how to do that. I'm going to wrap it around. I'll wrap it over there. I'm going to do it like I used to do it. And then, yeah, let's find a match for this, or at least something close. Let's do the 2021 gray. Again. Let's see what it looks like. All right, where are we? Let's take this insurance information out of here. All right, and drop this visor. All right, the visor's down. Here's the swatch. All right, to the naked eye, that is a little too light.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? Yes, it is.
Yeah, too light.
Uh-huh. Let's see what it looks like up to that. Okay. So I would, if I were to do this entire vehicle, I still wouldn't hesitate to use any of these grays, actually, because they're so close, all of them. I would probably use all of these grays if I was doing the entire headliner, but if I'm trying to match a seam like that, and I can't use all of them. All right, let's try graphite gray. Uh-oh, graphite's a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
Even the crappy digital camera shows graphite as being a little closer. See, this is where the shade gets a little darker. Now, you have to decide what you're matching here. Are you matching dirt, sun fade, cigarette smoke? What are you matching, If you're just trying to get by with an even color, then this doesn't quite match, but you would have that visible situation. Let's see, 2075 light graphite. Did I just use that? Let's see. Let me see. I thought I just said that this was graphite. All right, let me just put them up there. Okay, that's LT gray. What are we looking at here? They're sitting on the visor, just kind of crammed up there. They both look a little too light. Not only do they look a little too light, they look like a little bit different shade of gray. This gray here looks more like a sandy color. Huh?
Sand gray.
Yeah, I was going to say sand gray, but a sandy color. I wonder if they do have a splotch or a swatch called sand gray that is in the realm color schemes of these two and the other one we have that we're going to use for the 2007. So I'm wondering if I should order the sand gray when I do this van. That's what I'll do. I'll make a video about the 2007. I'll include this in the video, and then we'll order the material for the 2007. And then making of that video, we'll come back with the swatch of the sand gray, or that and one other one I'll order, and we'll see if it matches this 01. And then we'll order the material for the 01 and just do that without a video. But we'll have whether it matches or not. And that way you don't have to spend any money, folks. Because these companies are probably making a fortune off of just ordering swatches all day because, you know, they are $4, $3.95 a piece. And so we're looking at $12 or more worth of, you know, swatches just to see if this is what we need. It could be a total miss. But, yeah, I hope this saves some trouble on the internet for people. And so, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to order the correct size, which I think is 70. We need 2 yards of it because they all come in 60-inch widths. And I think 60 inches is too shy. It's not enough for the width of this truck, for this van. It's close, but I don't think it's enough. I think some people probably try to stretch it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to order 2 yards, which would make it 36 plus 36 plus 60 inches wide. So I'm going to turn the 60 inches the other way, this way, and then let it overlap and cut that off. And then I'm going to fold it around the back sides. And when we get there, I'll show you what we're going to do. And we have one more thing we're going to check. We're going to check the back of the vehicle for a swatch, for a match, where sun really doesn't get a chance to hit up that high on the back of the headliner. We'll see there. There's not a lot of handprints there, I don't think. All right, I'm gonna go into the vehicle. All right, here we are in the back, looking up at the headliner right here, where the door opens. Let's open the other side. Maybe it's cleaner here. Yeah. Let's see, swatches. Yeah, you can look at all the colors next to each other. You can see how close what we're dealing with is, right? All right, so yeah, that gives you an idea. I mean, look at the. Let's go this way. Sun's hitting that. Damn it. All right. Maybe the camera can pick up some of the differences, but it can't tell you what color gray it is. It can only tell you the differences. You can look at that and see. Light gray and graphite are really close in color, as far as I'm concerned. One just looks like it has a little sheen on it.
I can see it from the side.
Okay, so you gotta even worry about that. And then you got this 2001 gray, which I'm gonna use for this van. Oh, by the way, this is what's on the back of the material, a foam. And it's permanently, you know, bedded to the material. But when it gets old, this foam dry rots. This starts to come off, this material. When you try to re-glue this material back on, the glue comes through the material because the material is too thin. So you have to recover this eventually if you want it to look right. Otherwise, you'll have wrinkles and splotchy glue coming through on the other side, which most of you probably already have. Yeah, that's why one of the reasons I got into this a long time ago. That and base competitions and all the things that we did back in that time frame that we don't do anymore. Let's see. Um, this is the one that I want to get for this van, and it's still acceptable back here. Yeah? All right. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. This is probably the right color to get. Let's try some of the other ones next to it. Even that doesn't look too bad, but when you look at it direct on, it changes. And here's the light graphite. That's the least color. The graphite is the least color for this van. So, yeah. So, yep. If I had to do this again, I would use any one of the. I had to do this a different way. If I was doing all the headliner, both segments, I would do any one of these colors. It would match the pillar post and the rest of the grays and all that. It'd be fine. But we got to match doing just the front. So, yeah, I mean, look at the contrast here, right? I'm sure a lot of Econoline owners go through this. It's the same thing. And, you know, XLT and, F-150 guys, they probably go through the same crap. If they're doing their headliners or doing whatever. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to order this 2001 and 2 more swatches for the other vehicle. We're going to order the sand gray, which probably has a little tan in it, just a splotch of it that you can't really tell. Or, and then another gray. We're going to try to get a little bit darker gray with a different sheen. It's going to have more of a darker dinge gray. All right. Thank y'all for watching.